Good morning, students. Today we are going to start new chapter, chapter number 6 in OC. Chapter 6, Forms of Business Organization. Forms of Business Organization. Till now, we have already done that different types of business organizations are there. In first part, we have done sole proprietorship, then Hindu undivided family, and third one is partnership. Now, in this chapter, we are going to, in total forms of organizations are, one is sole proprietorship, once again, sole proprietorship. These are the different forms of organization. Sole proprietorship, Hindu undivided family business, and third one is partnership business. Which we have done in part 1 and part 2, cooperative society. And last one is joint stock company. So instead of cooperative society, we are going to start joint stock company, which is important for you in accountancy, in CCSP, and as well as in OC also. Joint stock company. Joint stock company is given on page number 60. We all know that what is sole proprietorship, any business activities which are owned, managed, controlled by a single owner, that is called sole proprietorship. But one limitation is there, that they are able to, they can invest only a limited amount into the business. If they want to expand their business beside their capital, they can borrow money from bank. Means they do not have any other source of finance other than capital and borrowing from bank. That's why if they want to expand their business, they have another option, partnership. So from sole proprietorship, if any owner or any person wants to expand their business on large scale, then the next option for them, proprietorship, then next option is partnership. But in partnership also, partners can invest limited capital according to their capacity into the business. If they also want to expand their business, or if they want to arrange money, what are the source of finance for partnership firm also? One is capital contributed by partner plus borrowed amount from bank. Two options are there. One is capital, one is borrowed amount. If they want to expand their business on large scale, then for them option is joint stock company. Joint stock company. In case of joint stock company, methods for raising funds. There are different methods for raising funds. One is borrowed money, second one is issuing share, third one is debenture, mortgage debenture, public deposit, mutual funds. Means various sources are there in order to raise funds. That is called joint stock company. But so far as formalities are concerned, in joint stock company, the promoter, the person who is establishing company, that person is called promoter. Promoter has to follow a lengthy and complicated formalities in order to start joint stock company. Now, what is joint stock company? Now, according to textbook, Meaning and definition of company. Company is an artificial person coming into existence by law with common rules. Company is an artificial, invisible and intangible person in the eyes of law. And definition according to Companies Act 2013, company means, first definition, company means company registered under the companies under this act or any other previous act, any other former act. This definition we have already done in CCSP. Former act, other former act here means Companies Act 1956. So company means any company registered under this act means according to Companies Act 2013. This definition is according to Companies Act 2013. So according to Companies Act 2013, company means company which is registered under the Companies Act 2013 or any other former act. Now next point regarding company. It is an artificial person. Why it is an artificial person? Because such company is created an identity, separate identity by the law, by the code. It is an artificial person invisible and intangible. It is an artificial, invisible and intangible person in the eyes of law. It means whenever company enters into an agreement, whenever any particular company enters into an agreement along with the directors or any other officers sign the common seal means stamp. The stamp of the company is very necessary. Without a stamp, such all documents are considered as invalid. For example, whenever you are depositing fees in your school, against that, whenever acknowledgement receipt is issued by the school, along with in that receipt, along with the sign of principal, there must be a stamp of the school. That stamp is called a common seal. So, whenever any company enters in any agreement, in any contract, on that the document along with the signature of directors, there must be common seal. That is called common seal. So these are the two definitions. Company means company registered under this act means Companies Act 2013 or any other former act means Companies Act 1956. Now company is an artificial, invisible and or, not and, both have same meaning, or intangible person in the eyes of law. Now characteristics. The first characteristic, one is legal personality. Legal personality. Any 6 points you have to do. Legal personality. Second one is perpetual existence. Perpetual existence. Third one is division of capital division of capital in a small fraction (3 points). 4. Any 6 points of your own choice you can take. Easy transfer of shares. Easy transfer of shares. 5th one is common seal. And 6th, management. And additional point 7. 7 is number of members. Number of members. 7 points are there. Legal personality, perpetual existence, a division of capital in a small fraction, easy transfer of shares, common seal, management, number of members. Now first of all, legal personality. Now, legal personality we have already done that any company, any business organization which is registered under the Act of Companies Act 2013 or any other former act, means Companies Act 1956. So any organization which is registered under this act or any other former act, that organization is called company. Once company is established under the Act of Companies Act 2013 or Companies Act 1956, then it is considered an artificial, invisible or intangible person in the eyes of law. That is called legal personality. The company has legal personality. Why? Because it is an artificial, invisible or intangible person which is created by law. That's why company is considered as legal personality. Now according to textbook, company gets a separate, means it is separate from promoter. The person who established any company is called a promoter, not owner. That person is not the owner. That person is called a promoter. Such person may be directors of that company, but such persons are not called owner. They are called promoters. So company gets a separate legal personality with its registration. Once it is registered under the Companies Act 2013 or any other former act, then it is considered as separate legal personality. It has separate legal personality. Companies can sue in its own name, can enter into contract and can be sued against the company. What is the meaning of this sentence? Means company is an artificial person. It is an artificial person created by law. That's why such companies can enter into any agreement with common seal. One point is also there, common seal. Common seal means stamp. Such artificial person can enter into any agreement. Such companies can file case against third party, and third party can file case against company in different circumstances. Third party can file case against company, not against any director or any person in the company. They can file case against the company because company is an artificial person. So it is called legal personality. Once again, since company is registered under the Act of Companies Act 2013 or any other former act, that's why it is considered as an artificial, invisible or intangible person. Means it is such a person which is created by law. It has legal personality. That's why a company can, like natural person, company can also enter into a contract. Second, company can file case against third party, or similarly third party can also file case against the company as company is an artificial person. Perpetual existence. Perpetual means continuous. Once company is established, then it is not easy to dissolve the company. Dissolve the company means winding up of company, winding up of company. Means like sole proprietorship. What happens in sole proprietorship? Whenever owners dies, the business comes to an end. Sole proprietorship comes to an end. Or in case of partnership also, out of 3 or 4 partners or out of all partners, if any partner dies or insolvent or unsound mind, then it may be possible that partnership comes to an end. Such type of things does not happen in case of company. The person who established company is called a promoter. In the event of death, insolvency or unsound mind of the promoter, company does not comes to an end. Company cannot be wind up. कंपनी कभी भी बंद नहीं हो सकती. Only through the procedure, company goes into liquidation. Liquidation means company, another meaning dissolution, winding up, and third one is liquidation. All have same meaning. Company cannot be shut down in the event of death of promoter. That is called perpetual existence. Means company can carry their activities for a longer period, for an indefinite period. It has a continuous nature. It cannot be wind up. It cannot be closed down easily due to death of promoter. Perpetual existence. Company has a separate legal entity by law. Means law has given birth to the company. So only through law company can be wind up. Otherwise, in the death or insolvency or unsound mind of promoter or any other director, company cannot be wind up. Only through law it can, means law has given birth to the company. That's why only through the legal procedure company can be wind up or company goes into liquidation. What is the meaning of liquidation? Whenever company wind up, मतलब company जब बंद हो जाती है, then all the assets of the company will be sold off, and after selling all the assets, all the liabilities will be paid off. This process is called liquidation. That's why liquidation has same meaning: liquidation, winding up, or dissolution. So perpetual existence. Company has a separate entity by law. It is not affected by the circumstances like death or insolvency of the members. Members here means natural person. So in the event of death, insolvency, or of unsound mind of any member, company cannot be wind up. Means company cannot be affected negatively due to the death, insolvency, or of unsound mind of the members. A company can be brought to an end only through liquidation procedure. Liquidation procedure means if company goes into liquidation procedure or if company wind up, in that case, first of all we have to submit documents, we have to pass resolution, then we have to submit the copy of the resolution with code. Code means here company law board. Company law board verifies all the document. If they satisfied with the document, then only they will give order to wind up the company. That is called liquidation procedure. So company is of continuous nature. Division of capital in a small fraction. Division of capital in a small fraction means we have already done that company has large source to raise the finance. For example, share or debenture. Now what is share? In short I am telling you, suppose company has to arrange 10 lakh rupees. Company needs 10 lakh rupees. So how they can arrange this 10 lakh rupees? They will not arrange this 10 lakh rupees from one or two or few individuals. What they will do? They will divide this 10 lakh rupees into a small fraction. For example, if they are dividing this 10 lakh rupees in 100 rupees, so divided by 100, it becomes 10,000. Means they are dividing the total 10 lakh rupees in 10,000 parts. 10,000 parts. Means 10,000 into 100, total it becomes 10 lakh rupees. The whole amount means total 10 lakh rupees is divided into 10,000 parts, and each part is of 100 rupees. Each part is called share. Now suppose out of 10,000 I had purchased 2,000 parts, means 2,000 shares. It means I have to pay 2,000 into 100. 2 lakh rupees. In this way, different individuals will purchase different number of parts, different number of shares, and according to that part, according to that share, they have to pay amount to the company. In this way, company is arranging this large amount in a small fraction from different investors. That is called share. We will discuss later on, but right now the large amount, large capital, they are dividing into smaller parts. Each smaller part is called share. In this way, through smaller parts, they are arranging this huge amount, 10 lakh rupees. That's why division of capital in small fraction. It is also a characteristics feature, main feature of company. Through this method, company can arrange money, huge money. Easy transfer of share means the person who purchases share, the person who invests money into the joint stock company through share, means the person who purchases share, they are called shareholder. They are called shareholder. Whenever company is issuing shares, the person who purchases share is called shareholder. Means the person who invests money into the business through share, they are called shareholders, and shareholders are the true owner of the company. They are the true owner of the company. So whatever number of shares company has issued, out of those shares I had purchased 2000 shares. 2000 shares. It means I had given 2000 into 100. Here we are assuming that the price of share is 100 rupees. So 2000 into 100, 2 lakh rupees I had given. Now in future, if I need money or I will go through financial crisis, in that case I can sell my 2000 share to anybody else, to any other person. It means that it is very easy for the owner, for the shareholder to transfer his share in favor of other person. This is one of the most important characteristics of joint stock company, easy transfer of share. Last one is common seal. Common seal in simple language it means stamp. Whenever natural persons are entering into any contract, they are entering into any agreement, they need to put their signature in that document. In the same way, company is an artificial person. That's why whenever company enter into any contract or agreement, then it is very necessary that along with the signature of director or any other authorized officer, there must be common seal. Without stamp, such documents, such contracts, such agreement will be considered invalid or illegal sometimes. Invalid or illegal. The common seal is very necessary whenever company enters into an agreement, because company is an artificial person and management. Company has numerous shareholders. We have already done the person who is investing money into the company through shares. They are called shareholders, and shareholders are in large quantity, are in large number. So all share, it is not possible for all, and these shareholders are scattered at distant places. Suppose the company is in Mumbai, but shareholders are scattered all over country. Some shareholders are staying in Chandigarh, some shareholders are staying in Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, and this way shareholders are scattered all over the country. So it is not possible for all shareholders to attend the company regularly. Means it is not possible for all the shareholders to manage the activities of the company regularly. That's why all these shareholders are electing few persons as their representatives, and these representatives are called directors of the company. These are called the directors of the company. All shareholders are conducting a meeting. In that meeting, they are electing few persons, few members as their representatives, and these representatives are called directors. And suppose in a company 3 or 4 directors are elected, this group of directors is called board of directors. This group of directors is called board of directors. This board of directors are controlling, managing all the activities of company on behalf of all shareholders. It means the management of the company is controlled, is undertaken by board of directors. Now last one is number of members. Before number of members, I am going to explain we must know that companies of two types. One is public company, other is private company. Now what is public company and private company we will discuss later on. In simple language, public company are those companies which can raise funds by issuing shares, by issuing debentures, but private companies cannot issue shares, cannot issue debentures, in simple language. Now so far as number of members are concerned, in case of public company, minimum number of members are 7 and maximum unlimited. Here members generally means shareholders, the person who is purchasing share, the person who is investing money into the company are called members. The minimum number of members is minimum number of members in public company is 7. So far as maximum is concerned, unlimited members can be there in public company. Now in private company, minimum number of members are 2 and maximum 200. Means not more than 200 members can become in private company. So this is public company, minimum 7, maximum unlimited. In private company, minimum 2 and maximum 200. According to textbook, number of members, minimum number of members in private company is 2 and maximum numbers of member is 200. Now public company, minimum number of members is 7, while there is no restriction, means unlimited to the maximum number of members in public company. These are the 7 points we have completed. Characteristics: legal personality, perpetual existence means continuous existence. Division of capital in small fraction means they are arranging huge funds in smaller parts through shares. Easy transfer of shares, shares can be transferred easily. Then common seal stamp is necessary to enter into any contract. Now any doubt you can